Hey guys, and welcome back to Garden of Kaylan. I have been searching far and wide for plants that really stand out to me. If you've been watching for a while, you know I kind of steer towards philodendrons and anthuriums, like just your all-around aroid type of girl. And occasionally I just get like a different itch to scratch. That didn't come out how I thought it would come out. Anyway, here are some new plants that I tried and loved. But before we get started, hi, I'm Kayla and welcome back. If you're new here, welcome, and be sure to subscribe if plants are your vibe. Now let's look at some plants. So the first plant that I'm going to show you guys, I got because I am a 13-year-old little boy stuck in a grown woman's body apparently. I don't really feel that way. We're in weird times. I feel like I need to clarify that it was just a figure of speech. Anyway, so I finally got my hands on a booby cactus. I had to do a little bit of hunting to find this one. I think it's so incredible how nature mimics the human body, especially when it mimics the female human body. It's like, that's oddly specific. That's oddly familiar. And to add a little bit more irony to it, I went to pick it up like this with my bare hands, and it looks smooth and innocent, but it definitely is spiky, which I did not expect. So I definitely suffered the consequences of that. It wasn't awful, but a lesson has definitely been learned. And I love the pastel green color of it with a little bit of like blue tint as well. I know that it's called a booby cactus, but I actually had to look up if it's a cactus because a lot of things that are not cacti are labeled as cactus, which is really confusing, but luckily I have some gracious viewers who cannot wait to correct it. So this time it's actually a cactus. But yeah, I think the color on here makes it so feminine, pun intended. And I keep it just on my cabinet in my room under a grow light. It's very slow growing, which is great because it's a little bit tall as it is. And yeah, I don't want to run out of room for it anytime soon, but 10 out of 10, bravo to the booby cactus. And I'm not a cactus girl. I keep saying that I'm not a cactus girl, but somehow they just keep winding up in my collection more and more here lately. At least I got this one checked off for the year and I couldn't be more happy with it. Next up is my Stephania erecta, and y'all, oh my goodness, look at these leaves. They are so perfect. So this one I saw a couple years ago, and it took me a really long time just to even find out the name of it. And even after finding out what it was called, I dragged my feet on ordering it because they were all, you know, they're sold as the little bulbs, of course, and I didn't want to wait for it to grow, but I finally got one. And then it took 10 months for this to even so much a sprout. It was so discouraging. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna keep going. I'm so glad I didn't give up. It's finally doing something and I'm in love with this plant. I really am. I have such an obsession at the moment with caudex plants, or is it caudae? I don't know. But these are so full of character. What I haven't experienced though, you guys tell me if you have one of these in the winter time, like, do you think maybe I can not let it die back and let it keep growing for the winter time? Because I worked so hard just to get these few little leaves and they keep pushing out more leaves. I feel like I'm going to be really sad once this summer's over and I start, you know, losing, you know, it starts dying back. That's going to make me really sad. So if you have experience with this, let me know if there's a way to keep it from doing that. I know it's part of the natural process, but like, can I just have 1 year, one straight year? I'll let it die back next winter, please. But the Stephania erecta has these gorgeous leaves, like these round, flat leaves with this prominent veining. I am just losing my mind over it. And don't let these small little skinny stems fool you either, because I have seen pictures of these, like people put a trellis in and they grow all around the trellis. They can get pretty big, like the bulbs themselves can get pretty big. I've seen them about the size of a potato. Mine is pretty small still, but there are a few more that I want. I actually just got one that's still a bulb, so I'm kind of late in the game to be trying to get that one to sprout this year. But I think I should just like slow it down, especially for the sake of space, and just enjoy what I have right now. Because like I said, I worked so hard to get these little leaves to come out, and here they are. I literally still have the sticker on it that was labeled top. So still kind of getting the hang of this. No pest issues, I say, as I'm like cutting my eyes to make sure there's really nothing on it. But you guys, How cute is this plant? Rumor has it that this guy is quite the headache. Don't believe everything you hear though. For instance, if you hear a rumor about me, I don't know, flipping a table as a toddler because they wouldn't give me more sweet potatoes, can you really prove that, Mom? So I got a few of these and I approached them very cautiously because of those rumors. The new leaves kind of come in a little bit on the red side. That's not a great example. Here's a better example. So they come in like darker and they're fuzzy. They're really fuzzy. Oh my goodness, y'all. But it turns out they haven't really given me any problems. I do get some brown tips here and there, but overall, it's a pretty happy plant. It really is. In case you missed it pop up on the screen, it is the Serpensima Roma Rios, and it's again the second or third Serpensima that I've gotten, and they're all doing pretty well except for I think one that was called like the Rowu or Rawui or something like that that came and all the leaves were dead. But we don't talk about that. This one, full of drama. Like, not drama as far as I care, but it just looks so dramatic, doesn't it? Like it's theatrical and very extra. I like it. I like it a lot. This one just happens to be in stratum. I do have another one that's in soil. Like I said, I was really nervous when I first got it, so I immediately put it into stratum. Things are just on the up and up with this guy. I am so impressed with how it's been growing since I've gotten it. Everything about this plant. Look how gorgeous this is. And it blooms very beautifully too. Of course, it hasn't bloomed for me yet, but a girl can dream. I have it in medium light with like medium humidity. I think on average, maybe 65% humidity, which is probably why I'm getting some of those browner tips. That's okay. But it's definitely growing to be one of my favorite plants. Don't tell the others. Since we talked about rumors, I'm here to confirm that the rumors about pipers are definitely true. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my Piper Santiago, and OMG, y'all. Incredible. I would never ever try to grow a Piper outside of my greenhouse cabinet. They are rough, at least from my experience. They just need like constant high humidity. So yeah, this one's doing okay. I had a little bit of damage from shipping right there, which is like another reason why, depending on the plant, I just don't really prefer to get them shipped. It's a little iffy sometimes, but I don't know if you guys can tell, but these leaves are very fuzzy, very soft and fuzzy on top, which is one of my favorite things about this plant. Of course, I do bear in mind that if it ever got pests, they would be almost impossible to get rid of, but hopefully I just never have that problem because this plant is so incredibly gorgeous, you guys. My options are limited to how many of these I can safely own because of space. Like I said, I have to keep them in the cabinets, but the Piper Santiago is definitely worth having to read IKEA instructions all over again. I'm kidding. I actually don't find IKEA instructions that difficult. I think that's another rumor, but look how gorgeous, y'all. The texture, oh my goodness. And you really can't tell until you kind of turn it that it has that fuzz on it. Like you can really see it on the newer leaves. I am truly turning a new leaf with some of the things I've been going after lately. I'm kind of proud of myself. And also probably I should stop buying plants, but you know, we'll worry about that another day. The next one I'm so smitten with. I just got it not even a month ago, I don't think, but I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. This is the Lysionotus Pamela Electric Pink. That's not a stem. That's like a little stick. I just kept it in there, but you guys, look at this plant. I got the Lysionotus turtleback not too long ago and it started doing really well. So I decided to go out on a whim and get another one and it's working out. They're slow growing. I keep this one in the cabinet too because this is not a joker when it comes to humidity. They do not play that. The leaves kind of look like something out of a sci-fi movie to me, like something out of Avatar. They seem like they may like glow in the dark or something. I don't know. I just think that they look really electric. I guess that's where the name comes from. I think the Lysionotus genus in general is something that I'm slowly starting to break into. Kinda, like I said, space is definitely a factor here, but I want all of them. They all look so good. So I started from the least expensive one and I'm kind of working my way up. I think I'm on a really good path so far. And thankfully they are slow growing because I wouldn't have anywhere to put all of them if they weren't. They seem like they would propagate pretty easily, maybe, possibly, probably probably very slowly. But yeah, the lobetia is definitely something that I have quickly fallen in love with and become obsessed with. How do you even describe this? What does it look like? A bunch of stones maybe piled on top of each other, a bunch of pebbles. Anyway, this is the Dragon Jade Dischidia, and this was on my wish list for a long time. This one and the Dischidia Major, I believe it's called. Don't have the Major yet, but finally got this guy, and I'm scared, you guys, because I've heard that these are very difficult to care for. So I'm approaching this one with caution as well. So what happens is they grow long enough and they kind of trail out of the pot. They like cascade out of the pot, which looks really, really cool. It's so strange looking with these like tightly knitted leaves. It was difficult to get my hands on this plant. And even then, I just got this little twig, but I'll take what I can get. I wanted it so bad. And I do have experience with Dischidia, but the rest of them, you know, grow very differently than this one. This one, as you notice, like I said before, has the leaves very close to each other. So I think that's kind of what scares me about this plant. It favors dragon scales, which is always so funny to hear myself say that because like I've never actually seen a real dragon. How do I know they don't have feathers? Anyway, it looks like something out of a Shrek movie to me. I know that's a weird way to describe this, but yeah, I'm just really in love with it. I can't wait for it to start growing out of the pot. And can you even propagate these? I don't know. Because when it gets bigger, maybe I can propagate it and like fill the pot up a little bit more. It's been pretty thirsty. I do keep it on a south-facing windowsill, so it's getting pretty good direct sunlight. And y'all, stay tuned. I'm so excited for what this is gonna do. I know it doesn't look like a whole lot right now, but you just wait. You just wait. Believe it or not, this, you guys, is a begonia. I would have never guessed. I would have maybe guessed like fern, but just not begonia. But yes, this is the Begonia bipinnatifida, something like that. My kids are actually the ones who pointed it out and said it looked pretty cool. And I was like, huh, it does look pretty neat, especially to be a begonia. And I swear to you guys, these leaves feel like a fake plant. Such a pretty plant. I love the red that is, like, I can't identify where the red is per se, but there's, you know what I'm saying? There's red in there somewhere. I guess the stems and the undersides. It's so out of my ordinary pick of plants, but I guess that's why it stood out to me in the first place. These are high humidity lovers as well. Also kept in the cabinet. I feel like most of the good plants love really high humidity, but you know, it's worth it. From what I've seen online, people have these outside and it kind of looks like shrubbery. Don't think I would like that very much. I think I like them kind of compact and smaller. Anyway, I am happy to announce that these are propagated easily and they're also pretty inexpensive, which is why I wonder why I haven't seen this more often. Maybe that'll change. Maybe this is like something new. It was my first time seeing it like ever. Anyway, highly recommend. I think you should go get one. I'm so happy that I took a chance on it. I'm losing some leaves. So I don't know. It is still pretty new. So it could be the shock. And then of course I immediately potted it up into my naked root planter. I did that actually on the last video. So it's still, I guess, trying to adjust to things. At least that's what I'm hoping is going on here. But what do y'all think? As long as I can keep it alive, it'll be for me. If it dies, I don't think I would get another one. I am really hoping though that it thrives and does well because I want to see what all this plant can do. And I also wouldn't mind seeing it bloom. Okay, so we have another little compact cutie right here, the Eulerum donburnsii, and I think that it's flowering, right? Is that a flower? I hope so. Let me see if it focuses. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Loved the leaves. They are so uniquely shaped. Like I love the foliage on this plant, even though it is pretty compact. Like look at that. It is so unique, you guys. I think it looks like something out of Alien and Predator. I've been watching a lot of movies, so I'm making a lot of movie comparisons, I feel like, today. But yeah, isn't this just gorgeous? Now, I immediately put it in high humidity because doesn't it seem like the type? It seems like the type to be fussy about humidity, and that has seemed to work out. I have it in stratum, and I've had it in stratum for a little while, but the rooting is very minimal. So this is truly a slow, compact, like slow growing, compact little plant. So I get to have this really incredible plant without it taking up a lot of space or without the stems being 2 feet tall for like, you know, a 2-inch leaf. I think that that's a plus. I would absolutely love to see this plant get fuller, but this was something that I'd never even heard of, and because of the size, old me would not have gone for this plant. Like I would have probably bypassed it and got like a huge philodendron or something, but I think this is such a beautiful plant, and I think I've reached a point in my plant collection where, you know, I'm getting what I find to be beautiful and looking for characteristics that I think are gorgeous, and this just, you know, this was one of them. The flower was an unexpected little pleasant surprise. I hope that the flower doesn't mean something bad, but very, very pleased with this plant. I feel like this last plant is the total and polar opposite of who I've been for the last several years as far as what I go for plant-wise, but I saw it in, I think, Lowe's. Have I been programmed somehow? Is this a popular plant? And I don't know, I've been programmed to suddenly like it because I've never ever liked plants like this. So this is my Gasteria little warty, and I think, if I'm being honest, that I'm going for more compact plants lately because I'm running out of space. Doesn't it look like an alien tongue? Like, look, if an alien had a tongue, it would definitely look like this. Am I lying? Kind of gross now. It's kind of gross now that I've said something, but also very unique and beautiful in its own right at the same time. I've never seen any other plants even remotely similar to this. I don't think that I'm like, I should get that. So this is definitely a big step for me. And for some reason, y'all, I love this plant. I don't know if it's the color, if it's the texture. I really couldn't tell you, but I have it on the windowsill in my office and I love it right there. It's the only plant on my windowsill right now. And I just really enjoy looking at it. I like how it looks in this little pot. I don't know who I am right now, y'all. Then it has little babies growing in on it that I'm like in denial about being excited about. I'm like, But also I catch myself going to check it every few days to see how much bigger it's gotten. So y'all, who am I? Who am I? So that's gonna do it for today's video, you guys. Let me know what you want to see next. Like, I'm thinking of doing a new Hoya collection, like updated video, because I have so many new ones. And then also I have a bunch of wish list plants. So I was thinking about doing like showing you all my wish list plants that I've gotten so far this year. I don't know if you guys care about that. I feel like y'all are gonna pick the Hoyas. Thank you guys so much for your support, for sticking around and watching me talk about plants. Like, who cares? Even like your encouraging comments. It just feels really good to know that there are other people out there like me, I guess. And I'm not crazy after all. Or I am crazy and we're all just crazy. I don't know, but either way, I'm not alone. And I thank you guys so much for that. I will see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.